Hello, it's Jane here. I'm up at the plot. It's the middle of October. Can you hear the birds? And I don't know if you can pick up on camera the atmosphere today, because it is very, very much of a hush. The birds sound more echoey, if you like. It's like there's a silence has come down over things. That might sound a bit dramatic, but it is absolutely beautiful up here today. And I feel a bit like I'm in a library. Not many other plot holders around. Can you hear the birds? Oh, it's beautiful. But there we go, that's autumn, isn't it? And that's one of the things I love about autumn. I know a lot of people don't like it because they see it as a slippery slope down into winter, but we've really, really got to relish days like this where you can just get outside and just soak up this lovely atmosphere. So, yeah, what I'm going to do today is, I know someone's going to open, get the lawnmower out in a minute or do some power tools. So I'm going to make the most of it while I can. But what I do want to do today is go round and get the last pickings, if you like, of our summer harvest. So things like, I still haven't picked the grapes. We've got apples and damsons to pick. I know Mike wants to talk a little bit about his squash. We have got things that we're leaving in over winter, so things like our parsnips and some of the potatoes, leeks, etc. But for the end of the summer harvest, I want to try and get that in over the next few days. So I thought I'd just, take you around and show you what I'm about to harvest. Okay, so let's just hope it stays nice and quiet. And one of the first things I'm going to have to do is get through this jungle and go and find out where my grapes are hiding. There we go. Okay, I'm going back with my truck. You can see a lot of these have started to rot. Okay, so those will get clipped off as I harvest and magically disappear over there. But really what I would do with small little things like this is these are going to go straight to the chickens or on the compost heap. So I need to put those slightly separately. I'll put those there on the floor. But look at this. Look. How fortunate are we to have things like this that we can grow in our own greenhouse. I mean, again, there's a few, you can see they're dropping off a few. There's a little spider there. Hello. You're going to have to go, little fella, find another home. Last year, we did try and make wine with them. It didn't work. So this year, who knows what we're going to do with them? It might be that we are going to just put them in the freezer for now and freeze them whole, and then decide what we are going to do with them later on. You can see, if I'd clipped the odd one out, like that one's come out, these would have grown bigger. But for what we're going to use them for, they'll be fine. I might try grape jelly, I did that one here. But we have got a whole, do you have a forest full of forest full of grapes? I don't know, look at that. So they're going to need some picking through, like I say. But, oh, what a harvest we're due for. Wonderful. I'd say that's plenty for now. whoa, whoa. Of course, one of my favourite daily harvests at the moment comes from this little bunch of rascals. So let's have a little look and see what they've left for us today. On average, we're getting between 2 and 3 eggs a day. So let's have a little look. Here's one. Okay, let's see. If it's a 3 day, it's a good day. Okay. 2. And it's a 3 day. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, they're very muddy. But let me show you. Look at that. Well, that one is particularly muddy, but can you see? 3 absolutely beautiful eggs. And if I'm not mistaken, there's always bound to be a courgette, even when you think the plant is finished. Oh, there's another one there. Okay, and I'll leave that last one on, but yeah, thank goodness we're coming to the end of courgette season. Okay, and Mike's brought something special of his own to the harvest table. What would you like to show us, Mike?
Oh, this character. So this is the blue Hubbard squash, a native of Massachusetts from the 1800s, I believe.
Mike, have you been Googling?
I have Googled that. Various different discussions about the origins of the blue Hubbard squash, but it's one that we've grown a couple of times. This is probably the best one I've ever grown, with very, very little attention, if I'm honest, other than a little bit of compost dug into a hole. And it's apparently it is a very, very tasty squash. Very dense flesh, orangey sort of flesh. You can roast it, you can put it into risottos, you can put it into stews, and basically whatever else you want to do with it. I think the trick with these things is basically how you cut into them, because they've got really thick, really tough skin, and so a lot of people say you should use a cleaver, other people say you should use an axe. I guess a lot of people will have their own methods for actually cutting into these things, but I'm very proud of this big baby.
Yay! Well, okay, well, how about that, eh? I don't know if I'd ever thought I'd use my head for scale against a pumpkin, but there we go. This is more my, oh, don't pick it up. If I pick that up, everything else is going to go, yeah, that's not a bad little harvest, is it? I must just explain one thing. Earlier on I was talking about the mist and how autumnal it was, and you'll notice now, or you might notice, it's just starting to go down. It's really quite sunny, and I'm not sure if the sound will have changed at all, but it's actually the next day because we had friends pop in just as I was about to do this bit last night, and it was lovely, so I've come back to do it the day after, and yet I have worn, oh buzzards, I've worn the same top for continuity. There is one difference though to the filming earlier on. I wonder if any of you can spot it. It is around about, anyway, we'll see. Okay, but yes, you know what? I knew I'd come and pick the apples. I knew we had the damsons. I knew we had the grapes. I mean, that's about a quarter of the grapes that we've got, but I've got to process those really before I go and choose the rest. The squash needed to come up. I don't know at all about the weather next week. I don't know if we're due for some cold weather, but I wanted to get as much in as possible. These onions have been drying in the greenhouse. Beetroot have just come up, my little eggs, including the muddy one. I've got some plums at the front there. One pair. I mean, it makes it sound like two because it's one pair, but that's at the front. We're going to have to divvy that up. We had loads last year. The pear trees obviously done that thing that apple trees do. Maybe all fruit trees do it, you know, a year on, a year off. But we've got some very voracious squirrels. But yeah, the pears there. And what else have I got? Kale. Bits, I'm saying bits and bobs, but what an absolute feast. These are going to be fun. Like Mike said, you know, it's actually peeling them, which is going to be the the tricky bit. I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow because I've got to have the whole kitchen cleared by Tuesday, so it's going to be a bit of a day of it getting these sorted, never mind anything else. I have heard if you chop them with the skin on, roast them, then mash them with butter and coconut milk, that's meant to be a bit of a treat, and it's something that you can then freeze as well. So you know those little freezer tubs, I think all of our freezers are stacking up with those at the moment. Yeah, freeze for a later date, so I shall be doing that, but the rest of them, who knows? A lot of work on my hands, but what a great time of year. What an absolutely brilliant time of year. And this, when I thought about this video, I've called it October Pickings, because I thought, you know, it's not like a main harvest like you get in the summer when you come back with buckets full of tomatoes and all sorts of different things, cucumbers, all sorts of stuff. I just thought this would be, I think I said at the beginning, the last of the summer stuff. We've still got stuff in. Like I said before, we've got our leeks, our parsnips, our potatoes, loads of brassicas. I've just found a whole bed of purple sprout and broccoli that I put where the garlic was. I'd completely forgotten about that because I covered it with a net and left it to it. And it's a couple of feet high. So, you know, we've got stuff still going on. We've got stuff still to pick. But I think for now, and considering the size of our wheelbarrow, this is probably enough for today. Anyway, I'm so pleased. Anyway, how's your harvest? How are you getting on? I suppose it is October, isn't it? It is harvest festival time. Is there anything that you're picking that you're surprised with this year? For me, I think these are my surprise. May never ever do them again after the carry-on that's going to come on afterwards in the kitchen, but they're quite great to look at. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know some recipes. Give me some recipes. What do you do with your apples? How do you preserve your grapes? What do you do with your squash? Just let me know. It'd be really nice to hear from you. Answer in the comments below. Come over to the Instagram page. Come over to the really friendly Facebook group that we've got. All the details are under the description below. And please, as I always say, consider subscribing. I know a lot of people watch this on the Facebook group, which is brilliant, and you leave lovely comments on there. It's really lovely, and some of you might see the video recommended and watch it elsewhere. But what would really make the difference is if you could just press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't mean you have to join anything or anything like that, but it'll make a little difference to my subscriber count, if you like. Okay, but I'm going to leave it there. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful, bounteous time of year. I won't be saying that tomorrow in the kitchen, but there you go. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon.